This is Docride, and I'm coming to you today from the AB Ranch in Montana, and I'd like to share with you a simple way of taking care of your box calf handbags. I say the best thing to do is just get yourself a simple kit, and we do make a lovely simple kit. You can't go wrong. You're not going to have a problem. You're not going to have an issue. The only thing you need to do is figure out what kind of leather you have, and we're always happy to help you. You can always ask us. Today we're working with box calf. Box calf is a finished leather, and most of the vintage handbags that you'll find are actually box calf or finished leather like this one, most of them. This is an Hermes Kelly bag. First thing that we're going to do is start taking things off of the bag that we don't want to obviously wash or polish. So I'm sure you can guess that would be the nice scarf here. We'll take that off and put that to the side. Put that here, and we're going to go ahead and take off the clochette. With vintage bags, you always want to be careful if they're very dry or they might be delicate. Then you actually want to use one of our restoring kits, because moving the bag around, if it's very dry, you want to make sure you get moisture on it before you start sort of pulling on it or weakening it. And we have crack stabilizers and so on in other kits. But this is a simple kit, and this is a simple job. So we're going to do simple, simple. Just open everything up here. Carefully open everything up. I'll actually go through that a little bit more in a second. Let's open up our kit, and we're going to set out our field. It's always good to have a field, kind of like surgery. You want to have a nice area to work on. Okay, we got lots of things in here, but don't be discouraged or worried. We have directions, so you're not going to get lost or in trouble. We have a spa mat, a fluffy cloth, a spa buddy, cleanser, and lotion, and some gloves, and a dry cloth. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our spa mat. So we have a field that will protect your table. And it's just nice to be able to put everything that you're going to use out on your field. Okay. The reason I have this fluffy thing down is so it doesn't make noise when we're putting things up and down on the counter. Okay. So the first thing that you'll do is you'll go, oh, I'll put on my gloves. Some of you have beautiful manicures, and you wouldn't want to ruin your manicure. Some of you have sharp nails, and the gloves will help you not scratch your bag when you're working on things. And I always think it's a good idea to take care of everything, including yourself, very well. Even when you're trying to look after it, you don't want to do it harm. Okay, so one of the things I'm doing now is I'm just going to work my straps backwards through the holes. Now, if you don't have a Kelly bag, you may find that you have straps or other items on your bag hanging, and you always want to be able to access the whole strap, because if you just condition it on one side, obviously the other side didn't get any conditioning. The whole idea is you want to take care of the whole bag, not just what you look at, right? Okay. I'm just backing these things out, and I'm doing that carefully. Don't be afraid, oh, you know, if I do this, I won't be able to put it back together. You can always watch this again, and you'll get it put back together just fine. Don't worry. Don't panic. Okay. That's one of the things. I'm just going to rock this back and forth gently. If you have a very old bag, don't do this. Make sure you condition first, because you may hurt it. You want to make sure you get a lot of flex in your leather before you start sort of manhandling it or moving it around. Just gently rolling it back. There we go. Ah, there you go. Okay. So you can see I've got the straps are now headed out the back holes on each side, and my bag is ready to start cleaning. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is open my cleansing wipe. I shake it down so that I don't end up with any juices spilling over. Okay, so there's my cleansing wipe. Cool thing is it's already set up. You don't have to worry, do I use this amount? What is, you know, some people, they end up soaking their bag. They're like, my bag, it's got bubbles on it. That's overkill. So if it looks like this and you give it a squeeze and it's not dripping, you're in good shape. If it's dripping, just squeeze it out a little bit and make sure you're not being dripping and soaking your bag. I say always start on your bottom panel, because your bottom panel, if something did go wrong, gosh forbid, you're not going to see it. So, and then you can sort of get comfortable with using a product. Now, you see, I'm not like pushing really hard. I'm just gently making these nice little swirls. See the little swirls? Isn't that nice? Okay. And what that's doing is I'm not trying to push any dirt into the bag. What I'm trying to do is just give a few swirls here. And that's just to lift off any surface dirt and oils. Okay? This is my dry cloth. I'm going to open that. So I'm always going to work in sections. This is a nice dry cloth. And I'm just going to kind of remove any excess. Again, nice little swirls moving off any excess. See? Look, it's working just fine. No disasters, so you don't have to worry. Whatever you do, do not panic. And if you think you see a spot, whatever you do, don't start rubbing like crazy, okay? Because that often what you're seeing is a little bit of wear. We'll just kind of go around all of these. We can actually this bag's actually been taken care of very well. So I go from the bottom to the side panels, always working with the areas that are the least visible first. So then you feel like a real pro when you get to the spots that are visible. Just doing that. And this is a nice, delicate cleanser. You know, some people are like, oh, you know, it didn't get all the dirt off. Well, if you're not getting all the dirt off with a gentle cleanser, it's probably not just dirt. It's probably a stain. And obviously, a cleanser is not going to take off a stain that's been sitting there for years. That's just not going to happen. You'll need a professional to help you with that. Okay. Again, just nice. Not doing a whole lot of pressure here. There. See? Just coming along. And then I'm coming around to the front panel, the front of the flap, like that. Again, just getting off the surface and preparing the leather to take the conditioner that I do next. So we just want to make sure everything is nice and dry before we do another step, because you don't want to seal in moisture, obviously. There we go. And I've got my hand inside the bag so I can kind of support it, see? I'm not like holding on to an edge or a flap and having the weight of the bag pull. You always want to be considerate of these lovely old things. And we try to be considerate of ourselves as well. Okay. Always want to do both sides of everything. You know, you do the back of the strap, you do the front of the strap. You can just, there you go.
Sure.
Now I'm working on the front panel. Again, it's making, see these nice little swirls. We always say make swirls. The idea is what you're trying to do is just kind of, you're just lifting, you're like doing a little swirl, and you're just trying to get any surface dirt to lift up into that little bit of sud that you made, okay? And again, if you had something on this bag that was scratchy, you wouldn't want to be pushing your scratchy stuff right across there, because then, of course, you'd scratch the top of your bag. So it's always better to go lighter. And with anything having to do with fine leather handbags, less is more. Okay, you can always come back and do things again, but it's really hard to undo something that you've gone way too far with. I've seen that happen, and you know, we want to avoid tears, and that's why we even made these products, is so that less people are unhappy, more people feel accomplished, and that they can have nice things. I don't know if you've ever had that happen where someone says, oh, you know, look at you, you've destroyed something. That's why you can't have nice things. Well, you can tell them to kiss off, because you know how to take care of nice things, and you can have nice things. Just saying. Okay. There we go. Just being nice to it. This is a nice opportunity for you to also sort of take a good look at your bag and sort of know how it's put together. I mean, look at the beautiful stitching and, you know, the inside. Always clean the inside. So I do the inside last because I actually tend to think the inside of the bag is usually the dirtiest part. Maybe it's a medicine thing, you know, in to out. Well, anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to do the inside of the bag. Now, if the inside of your bag is something like lambskin and it's really soft, don't muck with it. If you get that kind of a lining wet, it can shrink or buckle or something, and I just don't want anything bad to happen to you, so just don't muck with it. Okay. This is Chev, and it's finished leather. So it's pretty tough, really. Not tough like you want to, you know, make it into something that you would carry bricks with, but it's tough that it's going to be able to handle just a little cleaning, and if you have your lipstick rolling around, it shouldn't scratch it. Okay, so there. All right, so don't forget to do the extra pieces that you took off, okay? And of course, with these, you can always open them up and flip them around so that you have a clean surface, okay? And I'm just gonna, see when I've got a strap, this is coming from, you know, working with harnesses and saddles and stuff. You see, you just wrap it around there, and kind of just bring it like that, see? And that's nice. Another thing I always learned from saddlery is just because you can't see it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. A lot of people don't get in there and actually move their keys around so that they actually have never even taken care of that little bit of leather there, and they wonder, like, why did it just break? It just broke because you haven't taken care of it for 20 years, that's why. It's not going to happen to you, though, because you have a kid, so don't worry. All right, so if you see, oh my gosh, there's black coming off, you know, what am I doing? You know, don't panic. It's probably old polish coming off, and there's certain leathers and certain types of dyes that do tend to bleed out a little bit. If it's, you know, totally turned black, you probably do have a problem. Just stop. You can call us. We'll try and help you. If you're really getting a problem happening that shouldn't be happening, it's not your fault. Something happened to that bag before you even touched it, so don't panic, but don't try to correct it yourself. Ask for some help, okay? Again, no tears. That's the key. All right. Red bags do tend to sort of bleed out color, so just know that even if it didn't have paint on it or something terrible, it does tend to do that. All red bags do. I'm going to put this down quietly, I hope, so it doesn't make noise.